Let's, I'll keep apologizing, yeah? So, until all is well. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, this is where Nigeria's finest conversation happens every evening. Every evening, we'll bring you topical conversations shaping our nation, and we dissect them thoroughly with expert analysis, of course. And most importantly, we get to have you have your say. My name is Precious Enyi, and I'm your host for the show today. I'm excited to be with you. And today is Monday, so I got me barrister. No, how can I say just barrister Darlington? No. High Chief Priest Doctor, not native doctor, Professor. What are these? What are those names?
Prophet.
Prophet is inclusive. Prophet.
I will not be prophesizing here.
Imam. Should I add that one to it?
No.
Which one should I add again to it?
No.
Teacher.
Pastor.
Barrister Darlington Akumo is with us in the studio. Here's my Monday, Thursday tonic. Barrister Darlington, thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome, pretty mama. How are you?
I'm very well. Well, I should be well. I'm okay.
How was the weekend?
My weekend? You don't want to know. I spent it in the hospital. I'm still in the hospital mood, but it's okay. I'm going to be all right.
Are you serious?
Yeah. It's
what is
that? You ask me, how are you? You don't want me to be sincere. You want me to lie.
What is that thing that doctor is curing that I cannot cure?
As a native doctor. That's thing that you cannot cure as a native doctor that I can cure. Okay. All right, let's run you through the hot topics very quickly. On the hot topic this evening, this is exclusive by Sahara Reporters. It says how former presidents Obasanjo and Buhari contradicted each other to destroy Nigeria's case in Mambila arbitration. Remember, we told you earlier that the two of them went to France for the Mambila case, right? Well, that's cases that's here. And then Tinubu government denies 65% electricity tariff increase, claims 35% of cost still subsidized. And meanwhile, we're spending how many dollars? Over 600 million or how many dollars to subsidize electricity? Okay. All right. Let's move on. Protesters storm Ueli police station over Headsmen attacks amid Ebony residents and terrorist attacks. Voila. Barrister Darlington. Okay, well, let's get back to other issues. Yeah. So this is viral video of Ogun traditional ruler being humiliated, how he humiliates, assaults a 73-year-old man and says, "You would die and go blind. I own Nigerian police. I'll send you to jail." Nothing will happen. Okay, so let's get back to other issues. Okay, so Barrister Darlington, there was some, back and forth. I don't want to say goosebumps, but more like truth or there. As BC Akonde says, I believe Ladoja has information on Bola Ige's death. That's what he said. That I believe Ladoja has information on Bola Ige's death. Then Ladoja now replies and says, Akonde lied. I didn't withdraw Bola Ige's case. Barrister Darlington, okay. Let's go to another case. Residents Zamfara communities lament presence of Bello Tojo's foot soldiers. Again, I thought we had clamped down on them. Practice what you preach. Nigeria divided under you. Atiku to Tinubu. And then Ramaphosa hits back at Trump over land confiscation claims. Lagos, these are the hot topics that we have. Let's get started without much ado very quickly. We don't have time to take a breather and come back. Okay, so now, going to this exclusive by Sahara Reporters, former Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo and Muhammadu Buhari gave conflicting testimonies, the report said, before the International Chamber of Commerce Court of Arbitration in Paris, France, regarding the $6 billion Mambila power project awarded to Sunrise Power. Now, the dispute centers on the power generation and distribution contracts given to Sunrise Power and Transmission Company of Nigeria in 2003 during Obasanjo's regime. The Nigerian government has contested claims made by Sunrise Power and its chairman CEO, Chief Leno Adesoyan, who is seeking a 2.3 billion naira in compensation for an alleged breach of contract by the government. Now, according to transcript of witness statements exclusively obtained by Sahara Reporters, he said former President Obasanjo testified before the court in January 2025, arguing that the 2003 agreement on which Sunrise Power based its claim is invalid. Because remember, he's always said it, that agreement was without him as president. So that's what Obasanjo argued. Now, he claimed that the agreement was signed by former Minister of Power, Dr. Olu Agunloye, 24 hours after the Federal Executive Council rejected the contract award to Sunrise Power. Obasanjo stated that a Nigerian minister lacks the executive power to unilaterally award such a contract, especially after the bid was dismissed by the Federal Executive Council. Fake. However, during former President Buhari's testimony on January 23rd, the next day, no, back to back, he repeatedly stated that he could not recall conversations and other details of the contract when questioned by the prosecution lawyer. What do you know about this case? I am not aware. I'm not aware. Okay. So in the few responses he did provide, in the few responses he did provide, Buhari contradicted Obasanjo's testimony, admitting that Nigeria awarded the contract to Sunrise Power and Transmission Company Limited, which Obasanjo said it was not as Nigeria, that the Minister of Power took the decision on his own. Barrister Darlington. Now, this prompted him to direct the Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, then, and the Minister of Works and Power, Babatunde Fashola, to negotiate with the company. Buhari also appeared to undermine Nigeria's case by insinuating that Nigeria, not Sunrise Power and Transmission Company, was the extortionist. Did you hear? Mm-hmm. That it is not Sunrise that is extorting here, that it is Nigeria, our country, that is extortionist. So meanwhile, Agunloye is currently facing trial for forgery, disobedience, and corruption related to the power project. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has accused Agunloye of awarding the contract without budgetary provision, approval, or cash backing. However, Agunloye claims that the government is using him as a scapegoat to undermine Sunrise Power's claims, because there is no way the government will claim that they did not know. No. He's repeatedly said that. Barrister Darlington.
Oro pesije.
Hey, well, I wish you can interpret for me.
I will not tell you until you pay me money.
How much?
Or you call MC Oluoma to interpret it for you.
Barrister Darlington, leave me. I don't have strength to. I'm not feeling well. When I go and chop and belly full, I come back and answer you.
in the first place, Precious, have you considered the insult and embarrassment that the two former presidents, the two former head of state of Nigeria, are now speaking from both sides of their mouth in a foreign land? Precious.
Sir?
If this case were to be open in Nigeria, do you think Obasanjo and Buhari will answer anybody? Which anti-graft body will call them to come and testify? Will they even answer you? You can see what I'm telling you, that the problem of Nigeria is those people that you people are worshipping. They are the ones. This matter now, imagine if this project have sailed through. Shebi would have been having light now, this 10,000 megawatts. That was expected from that project. Look at 2003, when Naira had value. Whatever was bidded at that time, by now, it will have gone into trillions. You can see now that these people are the problem of Nigeria, yet the media keep calling them VIP, prominent Nigerians. When they want to describe them, they call them. Are
you insinuating that the media shouldn't put some respect in the name of our president?
I will never try that. I remember what the Punch newspaper said when they were calling somebody general, because that's what he is. They refuse to call him president; they call him general. I'm not joking. If I were in the media, I will never. I will tell them to their face, because they are the problem of Nigeria. Look at what is going on. Do you need anybody to tell you that this former president, they are the problem with this thing that they are telling us now? One said he did, one said he did not do. The other one said this, the other. Can you imagine? So who is that extortionist now? He said it's Nigerian government. So what government, which government in power extorted that man? Which government in power? Why didn't they call Jonathan? Was he not? Did he not inherit this project? Why didn't they call him? Precious, why did they not call him? But they called Mr. Integrity. Mr. Integrity. They called him, and now he has forgotten it. Just like when he was in government, everything he has forgotten. He doesn't remember anything. Did you even see what he told us when he came back? When he came back, what did he say? That he's living on rent and that it's only God that will solve the Nigerian problem. That was immediately he came back, that was what he said. I said, look at that. So, Precious, I pray that matter, they will pursue it relentlessly to its logical conclusion. At least let them jail these two men. Let them send them to jail. Since we cannot do it, let somebody help us to do it.
Barrister Darlington, but they're not the ones that ate the money now.
Why were they called then?
Okay, so Barrister Darlington, let's go to another matter.
Why were they called? Hold on. Why were they called? Why didn't they call me or you? They called them because they have a hand in the matter. Why did they call Jonathan? All
right, so Barrister Darlington, let's go straight to other issues. As the special advisor to the president, that is President Bola Tinubu on energy, Olu Vehejen has refuted claims of an impending 65% increase in electricity tariffs, clarifying recent media reports on the matter. Now, in a statement via her verified X handle on Monday, she stated that the current Band A tariff covers approximately 65% of the actual cost of electricity supply, with the federal government subsidizing the remaining amount. So the federal government is committed to fair electricity pricing, protecting vulnerable Nigerians, and expanding access to reliable power, she said. She further reveals that the government currently spends 200 billion naira monthly on electricity subsidies. Monthly, 200 billion. That is 1 billion, 2 billion. We count million into 1 billion first. To be into 999 million, they now get 1 billion. They now count that billion into 200 every month. That's what we spend in Nigeria to subsidize electricity. She also noted that the wealthiest 25% of Nigerians receive the biggest share. So, quoting her, she said, to address this, we are working towards transitioning to a targeted subsidy system that ensures that low-income households receive the most support, she said. Now, Barrister Darlington, see, I'm still very, very confused about this electricity issue and their subsidy. I will never forget. Is it Amina Farouk now? Zainab Farouk. Zainab Ahmed, a former minister for finance. I remember, you can Google it because I won't forget. She said that we have systematically removed subsidy from energy, from electricity.
Exactly.
She said it during Buhari's time.
Exactly.
Because I will not forget. I do this with you guys every day. And I think I mentioned it here in this show. When she said that Nigeria has systematically removed subsidy from electricity. Remember that period, almost every 2, 3, 4 months, we'll have increment. 2, 3, 4 months, we'll have increment. Yes. So that they are mine to whatever. Yeah. So if we have removed that subsidy, Barrister Darlington, which subsidy are we not paying with 200 billion naira every month? Or is it that the past administration deceived us about removing it they never did?
They did not.
Or is it now this? What is going on?
Precious.
Sir?
You know, I have told you here that there are certain characters, when they come into government, they will display that character. Because a leopard can never change its spots. You are talking of electricity. How about the subsidy on fuel? Somebody came into office and he took advantage that everybody said they will remove subsidy. They will remove subsidy. And therefore, he now went into extortion instead of removing the subsidy. You have what Buhari is saying in Paris, that the Nigerian government is the extortionist. So, extortion has become part of our governance. They are extorting money from Nigeria, not subsidy removal. I have told you this thing. If you are that team, let's go. Precious, when PDP was in office and they were subsidizing this fuel, and they were subsidizing at least 30 million liters per day, Please, did you remember how much the government of that time said that we are paying to subsidize fuel for Nigerians? Can you remember? No, can you remember? It's important so that Nigerians will know what we are talking about. The last time I checked, it wasn't up to even 150 naira. It wasn't. Okay, let me be generous to say yes. PDP was subsidizing fuel for us at 200 naira. That is why we are buying it at 87 naira. Now, if APC come into office and say they want to remove the same subsidy, please, how much are they supposed to remove? Is it not the 200 naira subsidy? So that, give or take, we'll be paying at least 300 or at most 400 naira per liter by now. To commensurate with the subsidy they claim they remove. Precious, why did it get to 1,000 naira and 1,000 plus? The remaining money, where is it going to? Who is collecting it? What are they doing with it? Precious, use your calculator and calculate 600 naira times 45 million liters per day. How much would we get to? Somebody at home, help me. You know, I didn't pass mathematics. I only know how to count my money. So help me calculate it. You see how much these people are making every day on our head because of fuel. Because of, with that kind of money, do you need to borrow money anywhere for anything if that money is properly used? These other countries like Saudi Arabia and others that are not taxing their people and they are oil producing nation, how are they doing it? Do they have two heads? Precious, somebody have capitalized on this subsidy to be sucking our blood in the name of subsidy. Thank God you remember what that woman said, that Minister of Finance. Thank God you remember what she said. So, did they now bring this thing back? Remember that this matter even went to court sometime when Fashola was there. And do you know what NEPA did? They now remove the cost per unit. When you now go and recharge for prepaid, you will not see cost per unit. You only see VAT, administrative, whatever. And then at the end of the day, but the cost per unit, you will not see it on that receipt. But when you calculate what you are paid and what they are giving you, you know that there is an increment.
But you know that if you note your payment slip for electricity now very carefully, you notice that you're paying taxes in your electricity.
Of course, yes.
And that started because I didn't used to notice that during Buhari's regime that though.
Yes.
I don't know why I noticed it more this period now, because I pay 30,000 naira to buy units and I'm giving the value of 20-something thousand because about 3,000 something or so is for tax. And I'm asking, wait, where was this tax all along that we were not paying it?
Even in the banks, have you noticed by your balance whenever you do transaction, especially if you're a current account holder, they have done it to me several times, and I opened my mouth, I said, what is going on? Look, I have said I will go and meet one of my friends who's a forensic auditor. I am going to sue a bank in Nigeria. I am convinced that they are stealing my money in that bank. I am convinced. Because at times when you do transaction, you see what they remove. At times 1,000 plus, calling it all manner of names. I said I will sue a bank, just like Innocent did it to one bank, and discovered that 24 billion naira of his money has been taken away. I will do it because it's a long time coming. So what they are now telling us about electricity, Precious, is already implemented though. Because NEPA, I told you I've been visiting them all. So they told me that government is not subsidizing anything for them. They told me. Let anybody come and ask me who that.
But this statement here shows that we're subsidizing now 200 billion monthly to subsidize.
But the people are telling you that nobody is subsidizing.
So that means it's not getting to the even the prepaid, discos.
Yes, even the prepaid meter. They said they are not sure that one is just a statement. That's what people told me. So who is now lying here? Who is lying? You can see what is going on. That the government will say something, the agency that's supposed to carry out is saying another thing. Does it add up? It doesn't add up. So okay. At the 225 naira per unit for those in band A is not enough. They want to increase it more. They want to increase it. Then the services, are you getting it? Precious, are you
But
getting...
Darlington, I heard that Fallon took Ikeja Electric or so to court because he was not getting up to the 20 hours.
Exactly. Is it only him?
Quota for band A. Yes.
I said some of the things I needed to do.
It was in the news. I saw it recently.
Yes. Now it's not only Fallon now. It's not only him. I told you there are many people that are up in arms. Even the clauses in the act which they're supposed to follow concerning prepaid meter. I have told you here that no NEPA man is supposed to disconnect you if you are an estimated billing, because they are the one who's supposed to provide you with prepaid meter. And that if they phase out your meter and remove it, they say it has been phased out, you can no longer return. You can never be disconnected under estimated billing. They're supposed to replace it. Immediately they remove it. It's their responsibility. But they will not do it. They will remove your meter and say it has been phased out, and then tell you to wait for prepaid meter till that kingdom come. They even ask you to pay for it. And when you don't, they will now be happy that they are now going to bill you on estimated billing. If you are using 30,000 naira a month when you are using prepaid, by the time they go on prepaid, you'll be the cheapest you can get is 150,000 naira. Look at the gap. And you tell me that a Nigerian that you are extorting his money like this will be happy with you. Do you see why I told you that the government prepares the crime and the criminal commits it? Okay. If you cannot pay this, what is the next thing? You bypass. Yes.
All right, but let's see. We have a lot to handle today. So just like it happened in Mboye State, we also have an issue in Ueli as protesters from Igbo Kokori community on Monday today barricaded the entrance of the Ueli Police Area Command in Ueli North Local Government Area, protesting the persistent attacks, rapes, and destruction of their farmlands by Fulani headsmen, according to them. This is a report by Vanguard, so you can go check it out. So the peaceful protesters, mostly aged women, that is old women, men, and youths, armed with leaves, chanted, "We don't want Fulani headsmen in our community. No wonder for our community. No wonder for our community." So they revealed that they had been forced to abandon their farmlands due to the attack, the fear of attack and rape. Barrister Darlington. So speaking to newsmen, community leader Albert Ogene Parabo said, "We are protesting at the Ueli Area Command because the Fulani headsmen are destroying our farms with their cattle and raping our women in the fields." The headsmen also petitioned and had our leaders arrested at Isiokolo Police Division. When we went to the station, we had a roundtable discussion with which led to their release. Afterwards, the headsmen begged for more time to leave the community, and we both signed an agreement on when they would depart, which they did. But recently, we were invited by the police over a petition accusing us of killing their cows, and that's why we are protesting. So Ogene Parabo said that our women no longer go to the bush because of the fear of being raped, and we want, he said, all we want now is for all Fulani headsmen to leave our land. We don't need them anymore. According to community leader Benson Oshevere, he said the headsmen are raping our wives, daughters, and sisters, and then uprooting our cassava for their cattle to eat. They are causing us pain, as our women can no longer access their farms for fear of rape and assault. All we want is for them to leave our land. Barrister Darlington, you know that something very similar happened in Ebonyi State too. Barrister Darlington, what do we owe all of this?
Is it the first time it's happening? Because that's a very important question for you to answer. Is it the first time? Is it the 100th times?
Barrister Darlington, in Ebonyi State, it was more people likened it to a massacre.
Oh.
Killing.
You see, when you have refused to do the needful will do you. That is what is going on. You see these Fulani headsmen. Initially, when this is, some of us raise our voice, but they say, are you sure it's the Fulani headsmen? Are you sure this and that? They were using all manner of excuses for them. And now they grew wings. Pressure, they grew wings. This is the only people that are doing business of cow rearing who needed the whole Nigerian forest, the whole Nigerian state to rear that cow. So Fulani Headsmen, there is no land in the north or middle belt for them to go and buy and then rear their cow. I have made suggestions here which I thought Buhari would have taken, but he deliberately looked the other side as if he didn't know what to do. These people that are claiming that they are rearing their cow, Niger State, all this middle belt, they are temperate region. They have land. I have told you here, Niger State alone is the size of the entire Southwest. Imagine a state alone, the size of entire Southwest, 76,000 square kilometers. And their population is not up to 8 million. Let me be generous, say okay, 8 million. Meanwhile, Lagos State that is 3,578 square kilometers is housing 20 million people. Look at the size of Lagos and look at the size of Niger State. If Buhari now go to Niger and say, come, I need 4,000 square kilometers to house all the Fulanis and their cows, we can create a new city for them, a new city entirely. Bring one area for their residential apartment, school, hospital, everything they need. The size of Surulere. And then create another size of maybe Agege, Ikorodu, all those areas. Say, look, this is bush. Oh yeah, go to Barega, Shomolu, all those areas. Bush. Use it to rear your cow. You cannot even finish an area before the farming season, comes up. That means you cannot divide us. Okay, this year I'm going to rear my cow at Agege, the whole of Agege and all that, going towards the that Ogun State boundary. Then maybe next season I will face Badagry. Look at the land we are talking about. 20 million cows can graze in this, and you do not do like you have done anything. Precious. And then after rearing your cow, you provide all the cow needed, maybe artificial lake and all that for their water need. Precious, is this not doable? Buhari refused to do it because I don't know what is on his mind.
So why is this administration not doing that?
Because I was thinking that being a Fulani man, this is the greatest duty he can do to his kinsmen. Rehabilitate them so that this killing and counter killing will stop. Buhari refused because already his people are armed. The Fulani men, Headsmen are armed. The other people are not armed, so they have upper hand. That's why they kept quiet. Imagine if people have been making it tit for tat. I'm sure by now the Fulanis would have borrowed themselves brain. But because the people that are killing, they don't have even a stick on them. That's why they feel so relaxed, so pompous about it. You are telling me now that they not have no land where they can rear cow, Abi? They don't have land. But they say some people are just a dot in a circle. And you still want to collect that dot in a circle. You want to collect it to rear your cow. You can imagine how people reason. Provocative actions and utterances. The one that happened in Ebonyi, I was told or reported said that somebody's cow was killed because he was eating the farm, and then they came for retaliation. Revenge attack. And you heard when they told us that some people value their cow more than human lives. Somebody, a leader in this country, told us that. That you value common animal more than your cow. Do you know one funny thing, Precious? Sir? Are you aware that Fulani don't eat cow? Are you aware?
I don't believe you.
Oh God Almighty. Precious. The food they are selling to you, they don't eat it. They eat ram at most. They don't eat cow. They only drink the milk. That's the milk they eat. They used to do fura dunun or whatever they call it. That's why they're always very tall. Because of the proteinous this thing they take, that milk, very proteinous.
Chai, so the protein one no chop like this, now make me do like this. Okay, Barrister Darlington, moving on to the Barrister Darlington. So let's move on to other issues here. Before I move on to other this case, let's go to what Akonde said. Former governor of Osun State, Chief Bisi Akonde, he raised fresh concerns about the unresolved assassination of former Attorney General of the Federation and Minister for former Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Chief Bola Ige, asserting that our former Oyo State Governor Rashidi Ladoja may have vital information regarding the murder. In that exclusive interview with Ace broadcaster Edmond Ebiole in Ibadan, which was released over the weekend, Akonde lamented that key figures who might have shed more light in the case, including a former governor of Oyo State, Lam Adeshino, had died. So he said there are many things that die with people. I know Lam Adeshino went to court over the matter, and I know his successor Rashidi Ladoji withdrew the case. Ask Ladoji why he would know. Ask Ladoji, he would know more about Bola Ige's death, he asserted. But Ladoji now to have reacted. So he said that he dismissed the claim by Akonde that he has crucial information regarding the murder of Chief Bola Ige as a complete falsehood. He said that he denied the allegation, saying that old age has probably affected the memory of the former governor of Osun State, Akonde, and that is what is happening to him this period. That's why he cannot recall. So, Barrister Darlington, who do we now hold responsible? What is going on? Remember, Bola Ige's death was a very serious stand, So now that Chief Akonde is now accusing someone, and the person is now saying, "Oh, live an old age, now they do and no end anything." Could it be that there is someone alive or living or dead who may know something about Bola Ige's death? Because it doesn't look like there's any proper prosecution that has really happened over that case.
Precious.
Sir?
Please, if I am Yoruba elders, I would suggest that they call Bisi Akonde to order. I'm not joking. He's talking out of point. Completely out of point. I thank God the Ladoja is still alive. Let him take him to court so that he can come and explain how he is connected with Bola Ige's mother. Precious.
Sir?
The day Bola Ige left Obasanjo's government in Abuja and came back to the southwest and said he was coming to prepare to challenge Obasanjo on his second term. Bola, that was the reason why he resigned. He said he wanted to come and organize AD so that he can now contest against Obasanjo. That was the first. That was what he told Obasanjo before he left Abuja. That night, Bola Ige came back with his 4 orderlies. That night, he did not sleep in his house. That was the day they killed him. The 4 orderlies that Bola Ige came back with, who were supposed to be with him, told the investigation panel that they were giving order from above for all of them to leave their charge to go and eat. Precious, have you ever had such a nonsense in your life? So was it Ladoja that told the police to leave the man they are supposed to be protecting and go to eat all of a sudden? Is it possible? Does Ladoja have the control of the police for them? Because if they were present, that thing wouldn't have happened. And for somebody to give them order to leave, then that means the person must know. They must know something about Bola Ige's death. Is that not a true? Is that not a fact? Those policemen said something that is very vital. I have even the most stupid security guard cannot make such a mistake, not to talk of police. 4 of you went to eat at the same time before they came back from eating. They did this done. In his home, in Bola Ige's home. That means the person that targeted him said, you must not allow him to sleep in his house. That was why it was done in a hurry. They must not allow him to sleep in his house that night. That was what happened. Now, when somebody started writing letter and disturbing Buhari's government and all that, they opened investigation on Ebola Ige's case. Remember? And immediately, Buhari now called somebody from Ota. And when the person was going there, he went with the daughter. And when they got there, he told the daughter to remain at the reception and entered into the office and discussed with Buhari. Remember, investigation knew everything. The man who collected the contract that went to France and all that, the money was traced and everything. So, why didn't Ladoja's name come up during that investigation? Why was it somebody at Ota that was called? Precious.
Sir?
Why was it somebody at Ota that was called? Again, listen very well. Just about last year, sometime last year, Gani Adams mentioned Sunday Igboho as being the assassin who killed Bola Ige. He said it. And then Sunday Igboho now went to court and sued Gani Adams for 500 million naira. It was when this thing was becoming back and forth, and then some Yoruba elders called them to sheath their sword. I don't know how that case ended. Sunday Igboho was insisting that he would go to court to clear his name. So with all this now, how can a Bisi Akonde be mentioning Ladoja? Please, where is the connection? Is it possible? They should tell that man, no, he is talking, he will cause problem for himself and to anybody that loves him. He is trying very hard to rewrite history. I don't know why. Very, very hard to rewrite history. This one that happened in our very before, in our presence.
Okay, so Barrister Darlington, let's move to other issues very, very quickly. We have a lot of things to look at. So let's go straight to 2023. The presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, has challenged President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration to practice what it preaches by placing Nigeria first. Atiku said Nigeria has gone through all kinds of class, ethnic and religious divisions since Tinubu became president. Then only for this new administration, now don't see everything joined together. Now, in the statement by his media advisor, aide Paul Ibe, Atiku said Tinubu sticks to snatch and grab agenda with no plans to strengthen Nigeria's democracy. That he sticks to snatch, grab, but no plans to strengthen Nigeria and the democracy. The former vice presidential aide said, late in the evening, the Saturday, that the special advisor on public communication and one of the President Tinubu spokesman persons, Mr. Sunday Dare, posted 2 comments on his verified account. One, he said, the first post he made, a case for countries to tighten their belts on the heels of announcement from President Trump's administration to impose tariffs in line with his America First agenda. And the other post, which came much later the same night, tried to discredit the actions of political leaders in strengthening democracy and good governance in Nigeria. So the second post is a lame attempt to impugn the credibility of political leaders who seek a better direction for Nigeria. And so doing, Dari painted a picture of what is to be expected in how the Tinubu administration plans to take the next election in the country as it combats and fight, or better still, the deepening of their notorious snatch and grab agenda, Atiku's aide said. So, quoting him further, he says, it therefore becomes pertinent to tell Tinubu's administration that last week's gathering of political leaders across the country is aimed at fostering the ethos of democracy in Nigeria, making sure that elections in Nigeria are credible and that democracy is a vehicle for progress and social justice in the country. He said, we find it curious that the Tinubu government would react to these noble ideas as Machiavellian inclinations. If the president's administration could describe opposition in a democracy in the language of era of dark ages, we find such behavior as unbecoming and a stark attack on the collective impression of our hard-won democracy and the fundamental human rights of the people. So he said a lot. He said the other post by Dari speaks to the tariff war by which the Tinubu administration seeks to interpret President Trump's America First approach. In fact, he said a lot. But bottom line, Atiku's aide is telling Oga President, see, if they give us advice, start to the practice first of all. Because charity, they say, begins at home. So that's the way they want advice or say, make you do like this, make you do like this. How many of that's in way you don't do? Because if you look at the way the country is, according to Atiku's aide, that the country has been more divided along ethnic line than ever before in your administration. And what are you doing about it? Barrister Darlington, a lot of people are saying that Atiku is not even enough opposition. Now, when he's oppositioning enough, now people are complaining, oh, do you have to towards that direction? So do you think that this is not a bit too below the belt?
Precious.
Sir?
I have told you that the opposition are not even doing enough. They are not, seriously, they are not. Even the people that are causing all this problem, they are even more aggressive and more assertive than you. Who should be taking advantage of their infamy and infractions to attack them. Imagine if APC were to be in a position and Nigeria like this. You imagine what they would have done. Every day they will be rioting. Every day they will be protesting. Every day they will be writing to the UN, to the US, to UK, telling them that this man is finished. You know, the opposition are not doing enough. I blame their spokesperson who don't know how to reply these people. I'm not joking. How can they solve this problem in Nigeria and they are still talking? On what ground? The opposition is not doing enough at all. Maybe they are afraid. But my Bible said those who are protective of their life will lose it. Abi? What are you afraid of? Dina Menayo told you that if you say the truth, you will die. If you don't say the truth, you will die. Why can't I say the truth and die? So for how long will they continue to be afraid of giving it to APC? The same way they gave it to PDP when they were in opposition. You saw what they did. They are not talking enough. That is why people like Felix Moaka will now be attacking anybody. Even when P2B advised them in the first of New Year press conference. You saw what they did to him. Just an advice he gave. So when Dade is talking, yes, he's trying to undermine Tinubu, but he didn't know. Because when you say political leader, is Tinubu not a political leader? So you are counting him among those who are not making things to work in Nigeria. You are among them now. Because under his word, things are going south. Or have you forgotten? That shouldn't be. You know, when they want to gaslight Nigeria, they will make speeches to blame you for their failure. Is that not what is happening in Nigeria today? APC have perfected that plan or that principle of trying to make you the culprit for what they have done in office. You can see it. So, the opposition should wake up. At least let them begin to reply APC word for word. They cannot imprison everybody at the same time. It's not possible. Julius Caesar, that novel we read in the secondary school by William Shakespeare, he said cowards die many times before they are dead. That was what Caesar replied them. So what are you afraid of? How long are you going to be afraid? They use this thing to collect power even when PDP was doing far, far better in office. And now things are like this and nobody's talking. I don't blame APC. They have cowed Nigerians into submission. If not, some of these things shouldn't even be talking. Precious, are you not surprised? Are you not shocked that APC still have the mouth to be talking to Nigeria anyhow?
How?
Are you not surprised that APC under Tinubu, they still have the guts to even say something to Nigerians after what they have done to the same Nigerians? Because when you have seen your oppressor as your messiah, that is Stockholm syndrome. They have seen it that you can no longer do without them. Give or take, you must live with them. That's what APC have done to Nigerians now. They have placed themselves in a position of indispensability. You know, when you say somebody is indispensable, that is what APC have made us to believe now. That we cannot do without them. Just because, look around you now, look around you. Who is that prominent opposition? Who look? Eh? Is that they accuse you of one corruption, whatever, or treasonable felony to keep you quiet? Look at that young man in Shawore. Look at what he's going through. So, it is their stock in trade. That's how they want to get power in 2027. For the time they now clamp everybody into detention, during 2027, nobody will be there to challenge them. They will just walk into victory. And then they will clap for the man. In fact, he's a master strategist. He knows how to play politics. He has dealt with all opposition. But what you are doing is destroying our polity and our democracy. I told you here once, Precious. Sorry. Do you know what brought down Richard Nixon in America? That was when he was eavesdropping against an opponent. That is, he was listening and tapping what was going on in the opponent's camp. The famous Watergate scandal. That's what it means. That is the reason. Americans saw that, said, no, this is fraud. They forced him to step down from contesting American president that year. They forced him. That is where things work. Why didn't they clap for the Chinese? In fact, he's a master strategist. He was able to get all the information from the opponent. He was listening to them, and he has all the information on his to use against his opponent. And nobody was asking, how did you get this information? How did you get it? Here, we celebrate it and clap for the person that did it. That is a master strategist. You know politics more than God. Remember one of our sister, Okagbere, who was our sprinter. Remember her?
Yes.
Good.
Blessing.
This lady was running like spirit in the field. Eventually, they say, this lady, we think that something is not right. Come. Let us even test your blood. It's like you are taking too much Igbo. Now, why are you running like this? They now tested and discovered that, yes, he took performance-enhancing drugs. And that's why she was running like that. What did they do to her? Precious. They withdrew all the whatever they gave her. Is that not true? And banned her for 10 years. That lady now, I don't know whether she's on permanent sabbatical. By the time the 10 years will be over, I'm sure she would have added weight, both in the wrong place and the right places, and she may not sprint again. They pack her one side. They didn't come and say, she used to be good though. Leave her now. She was a very good sprinter. Sprinter with fraud. But here, you celebrate it. Precious.
Sir?
You people celebrate it. That is why the man has gotten this far. Because nobody saw anything wrong in what he was doing. He lied to everybody and get to the top.
Who lied?
And you are clapping your hand for him.
Who?
It is only in Nigeria that somebody will obtain a certificate for a school that was not even in existence 4 years after. And it was presented, and people said, let us move on. Let us move on. In Tunisia, somebody was jailed 6 months for the same offense. Precious, sir? You people are behind the human race.
That is them.
So, when I hear this thing, it baffles me. These are the things we are talking about. Can this thing happen in America? No, tell me the truth. Can it happen in America? And you are celebrating it. He is a colossus. He is a... What was that man saying in the morning that got me angry? Don't worry.
Barrister Darlington. All right, so let's quickly just attend to other issues very quickly before we move on. Barrister Darlington, I did tell you when we're talking about the Ebonyi State issue and Delta State issue that residents in Zamfara communities are now lamenting presence of Belutoju's foot soldiers after, we thought the military was really closing in on them, around him and his boys, yeah? And then we also hear that armed men also kill 1, abduct 4 in Plateau community again. Plateau State 2 facing the same issue. But let's just go to this issue very quickly. So, Barrister Darlington, there is this viral video where that surfaced online showing a 73-year-old man identified as Chief Abraham Areola being humiliated and assaulted by traditional ruler Olorile of Orile Ifo in Ogun State, Oba Semiu Ogunjobi. Now, the 2 minutes video captured one of the monarch's aides snatching the elderly man's cap as he knelt disoriented, while another struck him from behind, despite his polite attempt to ask what he had done wrong. Barrister Darlington, let me see if I can play a bit of that video for you and how the said Royal Highness responded to the man in question and why the streets of social media are talking about this issue. Take a listen, please.
Wọ́n náà máa rọ lọ́wọ́ ara o máa fọ́ lójú o máa fọ́ lójú mi o máa fọ́ lójú ta. bẹ́ẹ̀ ló máa ìjọ ṣe nǹkan máa bèèrè lọ́wọ́ rẹ̀. ọjọ́ ìgbèjẹ kó bọ́ ta kó ìgbèjẹ lójú mi. kò sí pé kí n lọ tọ́ kẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ èyí lójú mi o. ẹni bá bọ̀ kó lájà kó bọ́ ta lójú mi kó wá sọ. ẹni bá bọ̀ kó bá bá lábàá bá wù lọ́wọ́ bá lábàá wọ́n ti tẹ̀lé gbó. wọ ẹjẹ́ ìsọ pé wèrè ẹgbàá kí abikẹ́lẹ̀ pè ẹni bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹ ayé wa fẹ́ òní yóò jẹ ìyẹn ọmọ yẹn jèrè alálẹ̀ kò ní gbé ẹ̀ jákèjádé rẹ̀ ní ẹgbẹ́ máa gbẹ̀yàn rẹ̀. aṣẹ́gun mo sọ ni ẹgbẹ́ alálẹ̀ kò àdìgbà jẹ o ní jèrè ọmọ o ní jèrè aya o máa tọrọ jẹ ni o máa tọrọ mu àbúrò àbá ẹ àpọ̀ mu ẹ wọn náà máa rọ lọ́wọ́ ara o máa fọ́ lójú o máa fọ́ lójú mi o máa fọ́ lójú ta. bẹ́ẹ̀ ló máa ìjọ ṣe nǹkan máa bèèrè lọ́wọ́ rẹ̀. ọjọ́ ìgbèjẹ kó bọ́ ta kó ìgbèjẹ lójú mi. kò sí pé kí n lọ tọ́ kẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ èyí lójú mi o. ẹni bá bọ̀ kó lájà kó bọ́ ta lójú mi kó wá sọ. ẹni bá bọ̀ kó bá bá lábàá bá wù lọ́wọ́ bá lábàá wọ́n ti tẹ̀lé gbó. wọ ẹjẹ́ ìsọ pé wèrè ẹgbàá kí abikẹ́lẹ̀ pè ẹni bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹ òun mi ò má fi ayé wa fẹ́ òní yóò jó ṣe baálẹ̀ ní àbábá ṣe baálẹ̀ ní ṣe baálẹ̀ ní ṣe baálẹ̀ ní. ẹ̀yin jọba ìṣọ̀tẹ̀ ọmọ yóò ní jèrè ẹ̀yin jọba ìṣọ̀tẹ̀ ẹ̀ ní jèrè ọmọ gbogbo ẹ̀yin jọba ìṣọ̀tẹ̀ ọmọ yóò ní jèrè lọ tó bá ti kú omi kọ lọ́mọdé nìyẹn mo kápá yín mo ṣòro àti fọlé àti mo kó ọwọ́ mi tó ẹ lọ bọ́ nísìnyí ọ̀kẹ́ lọ sọ sọtọ njọ kiri àrùn tó bá bá ṣe lè sọ fún ẹ tó gbàgbé tó ní látẹkọ ọ̀rẹ́ ẹni tí látẹkọ jọ rẹ ọ̀rẹ́ ẹni onílàtẹkọ rẹ onídà fún ẹ̀kọ́ rẹ kú náà a máa sí ẹnì kan kò ní mọ. ẹjọba yà ẹrú wa ẹjọba lẹ ọsẹkọkọ sẹlú abẹ tẹlẹ sẹlú abẹ tẹlẹ sọtọ ètò ìṣọ̀tẹ̀ àti wàásù lọ́sọ̀ fún èmi náà wí wàásù jẹba lẹ̀ lóru ni mo fi jẹ́ ọ̀tẹ̀ wá lù gbogbo èèyàn ọgbógun tì ní o lè ṣàánú wàásù o fẹ́ kú o lè máa gbógun jẹ o ṣàánú ẹ̀ ẹ wá fi mi sú mi alálẹ̀fọ̀ àmú yín o fi mi sú mi òru ni mo fi jẹba lẹ̀ sọtọ.
The honors of interpreting to us. Barrister Darlington, what was going on there?
Am I a Yoruba man?
No, but you did understand what he was
This
going
one, in fact, I don't think I will go the whole hall because the causes are so much.
He was cursing the man.
I have said,
so that video
not even the man, the children.
Oh, he was cursing the man's children.
Children.
The man here is a septuagenarian. He's about in his 70s.
He even asked, what did I do? That's why when they raised their voice. So you say you have the man to talk to the Oba. Yeah. Precious.
Sir?
Elderly men. Elderly men. By the way, does the Oba have the right to do what he did? Whatever the man may have done, does he have the right? The police is not there. The court is not there, Abi. The man is even telling the victim that he owned the Nigerian police. In this Nigeria, he owned the Nigerian police. That he will put them in prison. He will rot in jail.
Jeez.
Can you imagine? Precious.
Sir?
Somebody should call and interpret some of the causes because I don't want to say it. That will not be good in my own mouth. All the things he told that man. I mean, causes and Oba. Remember what damage that these causes have done to these same people. From the Alaafin Oraoye. Remember,
Yes.
the causes he rendered that nobody have removed up to tomorrow. The same cause was what killed Bode Thomas. You know that Bode Thomas you hear about in the street through Lagos.
Yes.
And all back caused him that he would be barking like a dog. And that was what happened. This man barked like a dog until he died. Because the man entered the Bode Thomas house and was shouting, "Who is here? Kiniko?" Bode Thomas from his backyard said, "Who is that person barking like a dog in my compound?" He didn't know the person that when he now come out and saw, he said, "Ewo. Oni mo ngbo bi aja." Hey, láti ẹni lọ. And the rest is history. Look at the governor is saying he will investigate. But by now, that man should have been arrested. The position of Oba does not give you the right to act with impunity and arrogance. It doesn't. Precious, it doesn't. It was this type of arrogance that made Fumilayo Ransom Kuti and fellow women to protest against Alake of Igbaland many years ago and dethroned him and sent him into exile. This type of arrogance. I don't know where the Oyomesi are. They should go and present the calabash to this man today because he went overboard. The Oyomesi should go and present the calabash to him.
Okay, so Barrister Darlington, let's move to the foreign scene where South African President Cyril Ramaphosa today, Monday, hit back at his United States counterpart Donald Trump over the latter's threat to cut funding to the African nation after accusing it of confiscating land and treating certain classes of people very badly. Now, Trump on Sunday announced he was cutting off all future funding to the country pending an investigation. Now, South Africa is confiscating land, Trump said, and treating certain classes of people very badly. I will be cutting off all future funding to South Africa until a full investigation of the situation has been completed, Trump said. But Barrister Darlington, just a little background about this. You know that there is an alleged statement, an allegation that very great percentage of the lands and housings in South Africa are owned by whites that are minorities, by the way. They own the land. So I think the blacks that are more like the owners of the land have little or nothing to farm and to control. So that's where this is stemming from. I think this is the history of it. So I think some of those lands are being revisited by Cyril and all those. So Cyril Ramaphosa has now responded to President Donald Trump. Say some things. Better say they say the lizard way two people see. Where one person feel make a play with Siri talk with Koro mouth, make it for you hear him, so that you hear what he said and the way he took on President of the United States Donald Trump. Take a listen.
This issue that Donald Trump fears so much, this issue that Donald Trump fears so much, we offer this question of the land. I don't know what Donald Trump has to do with South African land, because he's never been here. And he must keep his America, we will keep our South Africa. That is what he must do. South Africa is our land. South Africa belongs to all the people who live here in South Africa. It does not belong to Donald Trump. He can keep his America. And Ene is even worse. He's even worse. When I meet him, I will tell him. I will say, you, Donald Trump, you are even worse because your forebears came to America. They found the indigenous Americans. They wiped them out. They killed nearly all of them. Rine. We are living as a nation, and black and white, we are going to find solutions for our land question. So Donald Trump must leave us alone. He must leave us alone, Maori. When we were facing apartheid, When we were facing oppression, he was not here. He did not fight side by side with us. And we were able, on our own, yes, with support of progressive forces in the world, to resolve the apartheid question. As far as I recall, Donald Trump was not around the negotiating table when we negotiated the end of apartheid. So stick around there in the White House. We will do our business here, and we will find solutions for our problems. So stay out of our issues, and we will not get involved in your issues in America. You have your own problems. Leave us alone.
Chai, a man has
So you
spoken.
know that he was saying, yeah, you did hear what he said. He says that, oh, I mean, you're saying that you're cutting fundings from us. The only thing you fund us or support us with is in HIV treatment.
Yes.
And the only thing you do is that you give us only 17%
17%.
of the HIV medication. So it's not like, and I hear that they are giving Nigeria almost 80% thereabouts
yes.
in that same medication.
Yes.
So Ramaphosa is even boasting and saying that 70% is a chicken change.
I'm telling
We
you.
can't take care of that ourselves.
Yes,
So
he told
don't
him.
worry about it. We can handle it.
Exactly. I said a man has spoken. Imagine if all African leaders were to stand up and speak like this, Precious. But they cannot, because they have skeleton in their cupboard, and that cupboard is in the US.
Anyway.
Donald Trump will just open it. And that's why they are keeping quiet with all he's doing. It's only South Africa that will stand up to him, because the man there, Cyril Ramaphosa, he has no skeleton in his cupboard. I challenge the American government to expose whether he's keeping 1 naira there. I mean, 1 rand in the America that belongs to South African people. You see why it is good for you to be confident of yourself, so that your fellow man will not mess you up. Let somebody in Nigeria do the same thing now. Precious.
Sir?
Let somebody in Nigeria do the same thing and challenge Donald Trump. That is it. How do you know whether you're a man or not? It's not enough for you to be playing local champion. When your mates are playing the big league, champion league, you are here playing local league. Look at, a man has spoken. He challenged Donald Trump. Everything he said, is it not correct? Look at what he told him. Can anybody in Nigeria reply the same thing to Donald Trump? Rather, Bolaji Akinyemi was begging Tinubu not to offend Donald Trump. He was telling Tinubu, don't cross the path of Donald Trump. But now, a man in South Africa have stood up to him. You can see. You are the giant of Africa. Oh. Have you forgotten? You are the giant of Africa. You're supposed to be defending African interests anywhere. That's why you are the giant. But this giant has a clay feet. If you soak it inside water, it will melt. Not even as the feet is not made with bronze. I said clay. You know clay. This one they use to mold the hair. So whenever rain will start falling, this your giant will run inside the house. A man has spoken in South Africa. Look at what he told him.
Okay. Lagos phone lines are open. Let's begin to take your calls and reactions on the conversations of race tonight. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. That is 0700 903 903 903. The WhatsApp line to call is 0817 175 6338. 0817 175 6338. You can also call us on 0803 692 9933. 0803 692 9933. These are the numbers to call us with. Our phone lines are open. Let's begin to take your thoughts and reactions on the conversations we've raised tonight. In case you're just joining us, let me run you through very quickly on the hot topics we've had tonight. We had this exclusive from Sahara Reporters that talks about how former presidents Obasanjo and Buhari contradicted each other to destroy Nigeria's case in Mambila arbitration, and we detailed that thoroughly. If you missed that, I'm sorry. You go and watch back on YouTube. Tinubu government denies 65% electricity tariff increase, claims that the 5% of cost still subsidized, and that the government is spending 200 billion naira every month to subsidize electricity. And protesters storm Ureli police station over Headsmen attacks. Say, hey, Headsmen are raping their women's. Did I say women's? Ew. Raping their women, destroying their farms in Ueli. And the case is not different in Ebonyi State, where houses were burnt, some killed, many killed, we hear. At the last count was more than 10, about 10, killed in Ebonyi State as Headsmen attack Ebonyi State community. Okay, we'll move to other issues. There's a viral video I did play about Ogun State traditional ruler as he humiliates, assaults a 73-year-old man. Says, you would die and go blind. I own Nigerian police. I go send you go jail. Nothing go happen. Hey, sorry, I don't know if it added nothing go happen. I don't speak Yoruba, so I can't quite explain. Okay, so I believe Ladoje has information on Bolaji Ige's murder. Akonde asserts. Meanwhile, Ladoje now replies and says, Akonde lied. I didn't withdraw Bola Ige's case. And he says, it be like saying at old age they do am. Okay. All right. I also told you that residents of Zamfara communities lament presence of Bello Turji's foot soldiers. And in Plateau State, I also told you something has happened in Plateau community as an armed men kill one, abducts 4 in Plateau community. But going back to politics, practice what you preach. Nigeria divided under you. Atiku Abubakar hits at President Bola Tinubu. And I also told you that Ramaphosa hits back at Trump over land confiscation claims. You say, You say they confiscate land because of, say, the large percentage of land that we will get for South Africa. Now, why then get them? And when they see us, go use settle them. You go, your forefathers then go America, go pursue all the original owners of America, collect their land, pursue, they kill all of them.
Yes.
Ramaphosa.
Exactly.
Okay. I also told you about telecom's tariff hike. Nigerian government in last minute move to avert NLC shutdown, if that shutdown will ever happen. And hey, Barrister Darlington, your friend Ned Woko dumped PDP, and he says, gives his reasons. Lagos, these are the hot topics that we have. Phone lines are open 0700-903-903-903. That's the number to call. 0817-175-6338. 0817-175-6338 and 0803-692-9933. 0803-692-9933. Hello, good evening and welcome. Hello, good evening. Are you there?
Good, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Very well, I can hear you. Go ahead. What's your name, sir? Where are you calling from?
Great. My name is Shola, and I'm calling from Egbeda.
Shola, you're
Lagos.
welcome. It's good to have you.
I greet you.
Well done.
It's nice hearing your voice again tonight.
Well done.
See, how do I even start? Nigeria matter, it affects the ear. Nigeria matter, the more we hear, if you are not a Christian, you will say nothing good can come out of this country again.
God forbid.
I don't want to sound like see, the truth of, do you know how many Nigerians, I'm telling you the truth, that have lost hope in this country? And I can't blame them. Okay, now look at all the stories you have read. Somebody that was killed how many years ago? Even right from Delegiwa, we cannot, no investigation. Right from United when Delegiwa died. Look at Bola Ige, a whole attorney general died. He was killed like a chicken. And you say this, and we are saying we are in a country. Look at the issue of Headsmen, bandits, killing people up and down. And we have been raising alarm, but we have leaders that are insensitive. Are those leaders? Now compare the kind of leaders we have. Look at the response that Ramaphosa is giving to the most powerful president in the world. He stands his ground. He stands his word. But unfortunately, I will use the word unfortunately, we have a country where our leaders are all about their selfish interest. I want to be president. If you look up, and it is not our local in me. You know, so you can see all these things we are talking about. I was in one man, I just dropped him off when I was listening to all the highlights that you mentioned. Look at that man that oppressed a chief. You know, I was telling that man that we were together, I said, look at how our fellow is oppressing, apart from our leaders, to even with the people. I'm telling you, apart from being those, we have this kind of wicked attitude too, because we have people that are even supporting these insensitive leaders. You see them doing wrong, you won't correct them. Sentiment here and there, religious sentiment, ethnic sentiment, all these things are there, and you think this country can move forward? See, let's be sincere with ourselves. We are not ready until some visionary set of people will come over and take over this country, because I think that it is not a thing of easy. It's a thing of the kingdom of God suffered violence, and the violence taken it by force. Even your leader that is there now, I didn't say it, that they will grab it, take it and run away with it. No, let's be sincere now. Didn't say it, and you think he's going to relax and let them take power from him. I'm not saying that nobody's advocating for anything, but do what is right. They won't do what is right. Look at the country, giant of Africa. It's Ramaphosa. In South Africa, are they not more giant than Nigeria? Giant of Africa on paper. In fact, this country, you see, I don't know what to say again. We are there's fire on the mountain, and we are laughing. We are just playing around. Are we in a country?
We are in a country. We're in a country.
Okay,
I think I'm easy now. I've vexed you before. Calm down. I go say, well, sir.
Precious.
Sir?
Do you know why this infamy has continued?
Why, sir?
Because
is there an infamy first?
in fact, this nauseating, atrocious infamy. Why is going on in Nigeria? Because nobody is reprimanded. We are not good at checking what is wrong. This thing that Bisi Akonde is saying now, Babola, I was thinking he will mention Funshaw Williams too, because he too was murdered in his house. Since you know people that are killing Yoruba sons, you should have told us about that one now. Abi? You cannot choose and pick. You should have told us who murdered Funshaw Williams. And now, Yoruba elders will not reprimand him. Nobody will ask him, what are you saying? Then tomorrow, another person will come up and say worse things. That is it. In a normal claim, this man ought to answer questions because he has said a lot just to cause problem. But because he's an elder, nobody should talk. You don't have respect for elders. No, you don't have it. Meanwhile, it is this elder that are causing problem of Nigeria. Remember that sometime under Buhari regime, elder statesmen in Nigeria, they sued Buhari for 50 billion naira because they said it's the cause of insecurity in Nigeria. Pa Adebanjo, Pa Edwin Clark and the rest of them, they sued Buhari in this country because they said it's the cause of insecurity in Nigeria, and they listed it in their affidavit. These are the same people who is telling God now that he really want to solve the Nigerian problem. Precious, can you just imagine? Can you just imagine? People will deliberately do evil and then start looking for somebody to blame. Like they say in one Yoruba proverb that an evil man knows himself. He's just waiting for somebody to tell him, and he say you are insulting him. So Buhari didn't know when he was doing all this things, Abi. Now he's telling us that it is only God. That means he has lost hope in Tinubu. He didn't even say that Tinubu will solve the problem. No, he said it's only God. Precious.
Sir?
There is something this man said. I want to address it. I don't know whether you give me time.
Our phone lines are buzzing, so you have to help me address it faster.
He mentioned something about Delegiwa death. Because if you have addressed that issue when it happened, every other person wouldn't have taken delight in killing any Nigerian for whatever reason. I'm telling you, Gani pursued that matter and was close to tidying it up. And you want court to now blame Gani and impose 6 million naira on him because he could not prove a case. Meanwhile, they did not bring Babangida to the dock for Gani to question him. When Babangida had that Gani had a 555 questionnaire for him, he said, Tamburu, but that he's not coming. So he will now stand somewhere and be listening to 550 something questionnaire that Gani is prepared to ask him. He didn't come. He didn't show up. His one of his aide, Akilu, the statement he made even indicted him that when somebody sees a moving train and he stands on the way of a moving train, that train will jam him. Gani had all the facts to prosecute those people who were alleged to be involved in Delegiwa's death. But what happened? The matter died since that. But you know God is wonderful, Precious. God is wonderful. Listen very well, when Mama Vasa was alleged to be involved in coups against Babangida, people were pleading on his behalf, all the literary giants in there, because he was a poet, a very intelligent man, and he was Babangida's friend. So they thought that he would spare him because of their closeness and all that. So everybody was begging, including some literary scholars in Nigeria. They went to plead on his behalf. Those who fingered him because they claimed that if they bring Mama Mvasa, it may help to exonerate him because he's very close to Babangida. That was the intention. Now listen very well. When it became obvious that Babangida would not spare Mama Mvasa, Mvasa started writing things, releasing some information, secrets, to the outside world. One man called Osaho Onaiwu, who wrote The Cradle. Oh my God, go and read that book, The Cradle. The man who wrote it, he was serializing it in the Sun newspaper. All the details Vasa was bringing out about who actually handed that letter bomb to Delegiwa. Yes,
wow.
He said it. Precious, he said it. I'm sure. No, I can't even mention his name. He's still alive up to today. The particular person who handed it over to him. I said I have newspaper documents on it. Vasa was revealing it. Eventually, with all the evidence that is they killed him. Because of, I don't know, whatever reason. Let me tell you what happened. Many years after, Minister of Defense then called, what was that man's name? Oh, I remember.
Okay.
One newspaper called him and was interviewing him about what happened. That man said that he doesn't think that they did the right thing by killing Mama Mvasa because all the evidence against him was weak. Precious.
Sir.
Did you hear what I said?
Yes, sir.
That all the evidence against him was weak. Yet they killed him. When the man knew that the D-Day has come, he removed his watch and his ring and said they should give it to the wife. And he wrote a note telling the wife to take care of the children.
Hello, VOP. Good evening.
Hi, good evening. Apologies for keeping you on hold. Welcome.
So imagine if you have taken care of that thing.
You're welcome.
All these subsequent deaths, would it have occurred?
It wouldn't have happened.
You see my point? But
so that means you take action to serve as a deterrent against the other.
So what will come?
God forbid. Frank from Ikeja, welcome. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Just go ahead, please.
Precious, good evening.
Yes, you're welcome.
Dr. Darlington, you are doing well.
Thank you, man.
I'm really enjoying this program every night.
Thank you.
See, I want to ask, but in case I didn't know, since this government came into power, what are the things that the citizens have complained that the government has even reversed? There's nothing. See, this is the only government that was born that they don't care about anybody. They only care about themselves. There's something they only care about themselves. The issue of what is it called? Band A, Band B, that these people they are extorting us with. You're saying they are really extorting us with this Band A, Band B. And come to talk of the issue of Fusion women. I think I'm not a baby when Fusion women was killed in Lagos State here. I was at the airport receiving Fusion women, our gubernatorial aspirant for PDP back then at the airport. Overnight, Fusion women was killed. In this Lagos State, we have governor, and nobody will be able to find out what happened, who killed Fusion women. In case they died down because they are dead. And that is what also happened to Bola Ige. See, this is the only government that will give you something with the left hand and produce right hand collect it back. I'm sorry to say it too. When they remove for subsidy, they increase fuel. They can 3. But when the price was too much, they want to remove it. They are removing 5 naira, remove 10 naira. As if they have done something that is very, very great to the citizens. The only thing that we can do in this country, if we want to have a better country, we just have to stop this one-sided government that they are doing. when an Igbo man is Yoruba man is there as the president, when we do something that is very, very wrong, the Yoruba people will not stop because it's their own person. When the Hausa man is there, he's doing something that is very wrong, Hausa people will not stop because it's their person. And that is what is killing us in this country. We don't have one voice.
Thank
There's
you.
no one voice in this country, and that is what is killing us.
We must put an end to ethnicity and tribalism for all of this to end. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
My happiness is at the end of the day, those who are supporting evil, it will come to them, Abi. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, going back to the my WhatsApp lines are open 081. What is even happening to my WhatsApp calls? They're not coming in the way they used to coming again. They're just hooking halfway. I'm only seeing them halfway. What is going on? Hello, good evening. Are you there on WhatsApp?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Ha! Thank God though, because I'm just wondering. My WhatsApp calls are not ringing, and I'm wondering what's going on. I'm glad I can get you on WhatsApp. This sounds like Jovia, is this you?
It is Jovel.
You're
He
welcome.
is the one. Precious.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
How are
Go
you?
ahead. Very well, thank you. Go ahead.
Barry Darlington, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
I greet you. Since last week, I've been trying to reach out to you people on WhatsApp. It looks like
Sorry.
something is always wrong when we are discussing critical issue.
Sorry.
Precious,
Sir?
please, what was that English that was read to Buhari again? I've forgotten it.
Oh,
That he remind me that English that was
which
read to
one?
him.
That he did what?
The one in the court when he went to the dock that he said Nigeria is one that is guilty.
Extorted
not
that the government extorted the man. Extortion. Nigerian government is
very,
now
very
extortionist. Yes.
good. Please. How am I really sure that Baba understood that that was it?
No, he knows what he was saying. He knows.
All due respect. Because if he did, I don't understand why you just finish running a country as the president and left, and this matter came up, and you see, somebody says something that if you leave Muhammad Buhari, he would probably prefer that Nigeria is not his country. You remember he told us that he has his family in Nigeria. Is he not in Nigeria? Maradin, they were building rail lines to that country. We asked him why. He said his family is there. Others are there. Obviously, he did not even mention that his brothers are in Katsina, where he came from. So I don't even understand. A man like Muhammad Buhari, with all due respect, if Nigeria were to be that kind of nation, I don't want to say a serious nation, do you think anybody will be mentioning his name at all? But that, by the way, President, you have taken out to read out history for those who would care to know. Like I keep saying in this station, history has been adjudged man's best friend when it is properly kept, and obviously man's worst enemy when it is not properly kept. People should find out if an elderly man is speaking the way Mr. Bisi Akonde or Chief Bisi Akonde was just speaking recently, and I now keep wondering, are we going to say what is this sickness that affects old people?
Dementia.
I don't want that. Dementia.
yeah, come on, be going.
Wait,
you have had your 2 minutes, so
I have not spent 2 minutes. I'm looking at my time here.
I'm helping you look at it too.
Can you imagine? Why should people who are old not want to go and
Thank you, Jovalo, Jova. Thank you. Hello. Sorry. Hello. Good evening.
Okay.
Good evening. Welcome.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, my brother.
My name is Pagom. I'm calling from Lagos.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
I'm talking about the Legiwa debt. There are a lot of people that we have that are still living that know so much about the Legiwa's debt. And I don't know why up till now, Red is not saying anything.
What will you say?
Red was second in command to Legiwa. He was next in the office. And then he knew so much about, because they wrote a book. They wrote in Newswatch magazine. I read it overseas. And it was banned. Remember, Newswatch magazine's office was burnt by the government that was at that time.
Yes.
And then this publication
never circulated in Nigeria. But I found a copy overseas that I read. And it spells out the genesis, the planning, and the execution in that newspaper magazine that I expect read who was next to Delegiwa, who was part of the write-up to have said what they saw and what happened. And Ganifa Umo shared a prison room with Delegiwa, whereby Delegiwa revealed a lot. And that is why when he came out, he took up the case. And then Tony Momo also, I expected, there was Minister of Information. That he came because that was a compensation about what he knew and hid. And so, when I read the man that did the bomb, that, constructed the letter bomb, as was told to us then, that it may have been Israeli's hand because Nigeria was incapable of producing that kind of letter bomb, was actually from a professor of nuclear physics from a town called Ngo. And then it was written up there. And the Gloria Code issue and investigation. And when Delegiwa was aware, investigating on Gloria Code, and then he came across Tony Momo, a friend, another journalist. He shared what he was doing overseas. And then they went and returned the government that be, and then they compensated him. And then there was an archbishop in Lagos that one of the people that carried the letter to Delegiwa through a bike, he told the whole story, how they delivered the letter, how the machine was driven into that one barracks. And all these things were written in that Newswatch magazine that I read overseas. And all these other issues.
Well, you've had your time. Thank you. I needed to wait for you to land with your story so I don't cut you halfway.
I will give you, because it's just unfortunate that I don't have a copy of that news. But I read it. I read it from page 1 to the last page, the whole story. Anyway, it's okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. All right.
It's not hidden. Precious. Even when Akonde was talking, he forgot what happened to Bola Ige in the Ooni's palace when Frayo removed his cap. Remember? One Frayo, it was that case that made Festus Keyamo. That case brought Festus Keyamo to prominence. That is the Bola Ige case. Remember? Bisi Akonde forgot all those ones.
You just mentioned this Gloria Okon. And when this case that made him mention Gloria Okon, I just, a lot of things start striking. I don't want to mention other names, inclusive. Okay. All right. So let's just take some messages. Where do I begin from now? Good evening, Precious. Among all the politicians on the side, RFI is the strongest, and P2B needs to work with that man the more than anyone else. This is very powerful and can undo. That is very powerful and can undo. Ask Barrister Darlington for more explanation. This will make ask you why RFI did very powerful. Good evening, President Barrister Darlington, sir. For now, we are tired of this APC government and the level of the poverty in Nigeria does not know any tribe anymore. Both Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, everyone are facing it. Kenny Young from Okoba sent in that message. Joel from Alaba International says, Sister Precious and Barrister Darlington, please, what's the name of the book mentioned by Barrister Darlington? Barrister Darlington. Tony from Okota says, Precious, you know that clear conscience fears no acquisition. I laugh when Barrister Darlington said, a man I have spoken. So I asked, where is Daniel Buala? Bayo Nanuga. You can see how they are behaving as if they didn't hear what Trump said. But if it was Atiku Abubakar P2B that said it now, sharp, they go answer. Okay, Barrister Darlington, Minister of Defense then was Dumkat Bali.
Oh, my brother. In fact, the spirit revealed this to you. Dumkat Bali, yes.
Dumkat Bali.
Yes.
This is Dumkat Bali, Defense Minister then, Sunday.
From my brother, go and drink one bottle of Coke and give me the bill.
Bring the bill to I'll help you collect your money. Take one bottle of what? Barrister Darlington.
I say cook.
From where we from come now? Better see they used to wash my for money. Really drink cook. What kind of thing is that? Good evening, Barrister Darlington and Auntie Precious. Barrister Darlington is on point. But Conde went completely off key. Please, other than former President Obasanjo at the Oputa panel and more, who else amongst our president or head of state was showed up for questioning or showed up for questioning? Please let Barrister Darlington answer the question. They say who show up again? Semisola from Isolo Center.
I said these two people are so prominent. That's why their matter is up there. Any other person is not maybe Olagu.
He said apart from that, which other head of state showed up apart from?
No, that person. That's what I'm telling you now. As I said, look around the whole world from history. Mention any former president of any country that two of them went to another country at the same time to go and answer charges for corruption, except in Nigeria. If you have, please let me know. Maybe I've forgotten. Mention. That will tell you how low we have sunk. Two presidents at the same time. And I guess when they went there, they'll be struggling. Who will go first? Obasanjo will say, Buhari, you know I'm your senior. Let me go first and testify. Before I forgot what I want to say. Buhari will say, Baba, you know I'm talking.
Barrister Darlington, let's quickly just run through some more messages. Mr. Ogumbi from Idimo says, I am angry with Barrister Darlington for saying Fulani headsmen should come to Lagos to clear their cattle. Do you, to raid their cattle. Do you want them to come and disturb the peace we are enjoying here? Anyway, I have forgiven you. President Tinubu doesn't have solution for the issues of the headsmen attack in some part of the country because they are Buhari people. So he only used Lagos land to give an analogy, an example.
I didn't even mention. I said.
So you said something like if they come to, by the time they finish grazing in this area, before they will get to somewhere like Badagry. It would have been another season.
Okay, yes,
you were using it as an analogy. That's what I'm telling him.
Our God Almighty. You can see people.
But I said, no. He said he has forgiven. I think his play he is too. I
said if they have a land size of Lagos from
yes,
Niger
so that's what I'm telling him, that you're using it as an analogy. Okay. So moving forward, he says, however, Baba Akonde is old, so please let Laduje forgive him. In South Africa, President replied to Donald Trump, if other African countries can do same, we won't be treated like slaves by Trump. Finally, is there nobody to advise Atiku Abubakar to hang his political boots? He could try and sponsor young lads to roll. And Comrade Godfrey from Surrey says, Darlington, don't you think that the owners of these electricity companies are capitalizing on the ignorance of the administration to dupe Nigerians? How do you explain the fact that at the time when they increase the electricity bills to the level that it is right now, it's even choking Nigerians so far, they are still claiming to be paying subsidy to the company owners? How is it possible?
The same thing Oshiomhole said, that I'm a retired army general and mining our mineral resources. Okay, some of this electricity, I think what's his name? Abdulsalam Abubakar. He bought some of it. I don't know whether it's Ibadan or so. Go and check. 3 of them, they are involved in this electricity matter. They bought them. As
Gencos or Discos?
As Discos. Okay. What did they know about electricity?
All right. So good evening, Barrister Darlington and Dr. Precious PhD. Where he's still in view. Okay, I think it's high time we shut down this country. How can how can lives be wasted because of ordinary cows and that contributes nothing to the GDP? A person's business or a person's business of an untouchable group of murdering. You said a lot. Mex from Isolo. Mex, please. Let me just let sleeping dogs lie. Peter says, the way Nigeria is going, may God deliver us, and the present leadership is just holding their hands and doing nothing. That's what you said, Peter. His Royal Highness Bisi Nwoko says, Atiku is very correct. Nigerians are not only divided under President Tinubu, but are also dying due to man-made hunger. The situation is really becoming unbearable. That's what he says. I bet you, Precious, that electricity tariff will come to pass. As far as they don't mention them, just don't worry. This government is not joking, John from Ikeja sent in that. Charles from First Talk says, Please, I'm asking of Mazi Richard from Germany. It's been a long time. Mazi, where are you? Oh, Mazi, are you listening? It's been a long time. Yeah, Mazi Richard.
Maybe he has been
quite
trying.
A couple of others
He
haven't
has
called us for
trying.
a long time. I can't believe that 2 of the former presidents are just making fool of themselves in France. It's a shame. Let me hear anyone, anyway, Obasanjo will come out and be castigating.
I'm telling you, I'm talking again. Remember the first time this thing broke, fresh. I told you that it is not possible that Obasanjo is not aware until that second in command to Wole Soyinka in the pirate fraternity spoke. I told you that Aguloye cannot do such a thing. Who will give him the balls to do that?
All right, Ralph from Satellite and says there's a lot of extortion going on under this administration, from banks, electricity tariff, petrol, renewal of vehicle papers, POS operators. To be honest, Nigerians have been captured and nobody dares to complain because okay. Alex from Apapa says it's clear now to all Nigerians that the government has become a voodoo system of government. As far as the banks, they have continued to pinch out little savings every week, every month, and every transaction. Nigerians are being duped daily by the banks. A day of reckoning is coming for the banks. That's what he said. Okay, so let's see if I can go back to the phone lines. Perhaps let me just do a bit of YouTube. My YouTube message is full. Okay, so here over in YouTube, OJBK says Tinubu sent Obasanjo and Buhari to France to disgrace themselves. Come on.
They have no choice. If they say no, they will declare they wanted.
Emeka Weke says Doncat Valley. Yeah, I see you. Abami that says Darlington, you are absolutely correct. When B-Play Igwe wife found out that the government in power then killed the husband, that's what killed the Bola Ige's wife. What's justice to? Okay, Gloria Okun, Mariam Babangida, Delegiwa, and IBB, full story. Okay, Halilu Akilu. No, that's was it Halilu Akilu?
Yeah,
Halilu Akilu too.
Yes, that was Babangida's henchman. Yes.
Okay, Abamiede Bisi Akonde said Bisi Akonde is an old man. He's not but he's not sincere enough. Okay. And okay, I see your messages. I just take one of your messages each. Can't we go? No, we can't. Charles Duro, someone's father, you said, talking about how that 73 years old man was treated.
I'm telling you.
And Emmanuel also says stupidity of a king, everyone overusing power in Nigeria. Blessing also says, blessing, Zochiku, my sis gets. Oh, thank you. So how did you notice that? Thank you, I appreciate you. Nduboy Sefa says, if they explain Nigeria for you and you understand it, that means I'll stop it. Cynthia Omorogiava says, good evening, VOP. Fulani want to take over Nigeria. Oladipo Lukman says, greetings from Dakar, Senegal. Regarding the Fulani headsmen attacking their with their cows, it's wickedness. I had 2 plots of farm of maize, and they took their cows there and finished everything. Since then, I gave up farming in Nigeria. Sure. Maybe now we can make you Japa go Senegal, abi? Sure. Then make a go take small call. Hello, good evening and welcome.
Hello.
Yes, welcome.
Hello, Auntie Precious.
Uncle, I greet you. Good evening. Welcome.
Yeah, this is different calling. The mother of brother Uncle Billy. In fact, it's not what I will remember. I was a little kid when this thing happened. And the man was too jovial to us, playing to us. In fact, if he enters, we rejoice. The issue was that I experienced it. It was a dispatch man that brought the letter to him, something like a parcel. That's what I mean. I witnessed it. It is not a paper pen. I was little when the issue happened. I witnessed it. It was a face-to-face encounter I witnessed on that particular day. So it was a dispatch rider that came in and they dropped that. And that dispatch rider was working for the military.
Yes, no.
And that is what I know as a little boy that time.
Yes,
I don't want to say much about it.
I said
Thank you so much. All right, I have lots of messages and I still come back to taking your calls. But my brother from Kudos Home is here, and you know, say I will cry this road. So as the crime, make us still clean and small, make for sea road there, because where man they work now, they shop. Now they call and workshop, abi. All right, how far now?
All right, good evening, everybody. Once again, my name is Victor from Kudos Homes Limited. And I want to use this medium to say happy new month to every of our investors out there, and love is in the air. So what are you going to present as a Valentine's gift to your lover this month? So that is why I'm here presenting all our investment options for you. Now, I'm going to be mentioning where we have all our properties here in Lagos State and other part of Nigeria. So take your pen and biro and start waiting for my number. So here in Lagos, in Agbowa, Ikorodu, we have Kudos City, which is currently going for just 1.5 million naira per plot. 1.5 million naira per plot. Agbowa, Ikorodu, Kudos City. And we also have Kudos Heritage in Umuketu Ekpe. Now the phase 1 is going for 3.5 million naira per plot, and we have the Kudos Heritage phase 2, which is going for 2.5 million naira per plot. And we also have Kudos Height in Umuketu Ekpe, which is going for just 4.5 million naira per plot. So what are you waiting for? These are strategic location to buy for your lover this month of February. Now let me take you to Asaba Delta State, where we have Fairview Estate phase 2, which is located at Ibuzo Main Town, very close to the Asaba International Airport, and is currently going for just 2.5 million naira per plot. And we also have Kudos Height, which is also located in Ibuzo, very close to the airport as well, and is going for just 1.5 million naira per plot. And there we have Kudos Court in Asaba Delta State, and is also going for just 4.5 million naira per plot. Now let me quickly call my phone number for you. Now the number to call is 0905 904 7514. 0905 904 7514. Now let's run to Enugu, where we have Fairview Estate phase 1, which is located at Udobudonike, and is going for just 1.5 million naira per plot. It's very close to the Akanibiam International Airport. And we also have we have the Fairview Estate phase 2, located at Amukwenike, and Fairview Estate phase 2 is going for just 2.5 million naira per plot. Now these two estates are close to the Enugu International Airport. So what are you waiting for? Now take my phone number again, 0905 904 7514. 0905 904 7514. Our office address here in Lagos is at 171 Egbeda Idimu Road, Abule Odu bus stop, and we go for inspection here in Lagos every Thursdays and Saturday. Then in Enugu and in Asaba, our inspection days are every day. So you can visit us in Enugu, visit us in Asaba. We take you to the site every day. And then you can catch us on social media at Kudos Homes Limited. At Kudos Homes Limited, and our website is www.kudoshomesLimited.com. Now, once again, the phone number to call is 0905 904 7514. 0905 904 7514. Get your Valentine a piece of land. Thank you so much.
Hey, Barrister Darlington, did you hear it?
I thought
which of the lands are you buying now for your Valentine, sir?
I thought the ladies want the cash and not the land.
No. Don't change what Victor told us. He has taught something. You buy a land so that you be the landlord of our hearts. See me now.
The landlord of our hearts.
I'm telling you, the lyrics die.
Instead of that, let her come and share the one I have.
Barrister Darlington, calm down, Kwano. Calm down. You buy new ones. You buy new ones from the old ones you have. All right, Barrister Darlington, your partnership. Well, our time is fast spent. I have lots of messages and calls and reactions here. Oh my God, I wish I can attend to all of them. Tinubu sent to Basanjo and Buhari. Okay, after taking this message, and let's see if I can take a few more. This here says. Good evening, Auntie Precious. Please, we are talking about Bola Ige, Delegiwa. What about Funshaw Williams? Up till now, nobody is talking about it. May God save us in this country. Emmanuel from Ikeja sent in that. Bonsoir, Precious and Barrister Darlington. Let Yorubas be careful now, and they should talk to their people before. Well, engineer, I see you. Oh my goodness, my message box is full. Barrister Darlington, let me have your parting shirts.
What I will say is that Nigerians, over to you. God is giving you another chance to save Nigeria, because whatever we are going through today, we caused it by ourselves. The few of us who saw tomorrow and raised the alarm, they didn't take us serious. Now look at where we are. Is the problem not avoidable? It's avoidable, but you people say no. Let us move on. You can see now where are moving on to. Every day, one scandal after the other.
Thank you. Lagos, that's the size of our package. Thank you to everyone who's been a part of the show. Thank you for your calls, your reactions. For those that couldn't take your calls, please forgive us. I'll see you again tomorrow evening, God willing. My name is Precious Enyi. Remember that Enyi means friend, right? And I'd love to be your friend till the end. I'll see you tomorrow evening. Please protect your mental health, though.